In basketball and football, ESPN ranks the top-rated high school players in each sport. Usually it is a projection of what scouts think a player will be in the future. Sometimes the players ranked highly are stars. Other times, they fade out quickly. However, not every NBA star or NFL star was ranked highly coming out of high school. So, here are 5 NBA players and 5 NFL players that were not ranked highly coming out of high school. Kawhi Leonard was ranked as the 56th best player in the class of 2009 and was ranked as the 14th best small forward in his class according to ESPN. Kawhi would commit to play at San Diego State University. At San Diego State, Kawhi would be named first-team All-MWC twice and was a consensus second-team All-American in 2011. After his sophomore season, Kawhi would enter the 2011 NBA draft and would be selected 15th overall by the Indiana Pacers, but would be traded to the San Antonio Spurs on draft night. After spending time developing under the Big Three of Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan, Kawhi would win Finals MVP in 2014. After a few more years with the Spurs, and what essentially was a holdout, Kawhi would be traded this past offseason to the Toronto Raptors. So far in his career, Kawhi has won 2 Defensive Player of the Years, made 3 All-Star teams, been named First-Team All-Defense 3 times, Second-Team All-Defense once, and was named First-Team All-NBA twice. Thompson was ranked as the 53rd best player in the class of 2008 and was ranked as the 11th best small forward according to ESPN. Klay Thompson would commit to Washington State, where he would be named first-team All-Pac-10 twice. After his junior season, Klay Thompson would be drafted 11th overall in the 2010 NBA Draft by the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson has been named to the All-Star team 5 times and has been named to the All-NBA third team twice in his career so far. He's been a key player in the Warriors dynasty and alongside Stephen Curry has formed the greatest three-point shooting backcourt ever. And man, some of these performances he has are something else. 52 points in, wait for it, 26 minutes. 60 points in 29 minutes. Yes, this man actually scored 60 points in under 30 minutes. 37 points in 1 quarter. This guy actually scored some people's career highs in 1 quarter. An NBA record, 14 3-pointers in 1 game. Klay Thompson is one of the greatest shooters of all time, and when he catches fire, he's one of the most unstoppable players in the league. Donovan Mitchell is ranked as the 43rd best player and the 14th best shooting guard in the 2015 recruiting class according to ESPN. Donovan Mitchell would commit to Louisville, where as a sophomore he would be named first-team All-ACC. Donovan Mitchell would be drafted 13th overall by the Denver Nuggets in the 2017 NBA Draft, but would be traded to the Utah Jazz on draft night. In his rookie season, Donovan Mitchell would average 20.5 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game, leading the Jazz to the playoffs. In his rookie season, Mitchell would lead the Jazz past the Oklahoma City Thunder, averaging 28.5 points per game over 6 games. The Utah Jazz would fall to the Houston Rockets in the second round. Mitchell would fall just short of Rookie of the Year to Ben Simmons despite an excellent marketing campaign. In his second season, Donovan Mitchell would up his averages to 23.8 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and 4.2 assists per game. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best shooting guards in basketball, and he's only 22 years old. He has a chance to be a special player in the NBA for years to come, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won MVP in the future. Paul George was not ranked in the top 100 of the 2008 class, but was ranked as the 45th best small forward in his class according to ESPN. Paul George would commit to Fresno State, and after his sophomore season, he would declare for the 2010 NBA Draft. Paul George would be selected 10th overall by the Indiana Pacers in the 2010 NBA Draft. His third season, Paul George would be named to his first All-Star team, win Most Improved Player, and would lead the Indiana Pacers to a 7-game series in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat, where they came up just short. The next season, he would lead the Indiana Pacers to the top seed, but would again fall short to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. However, that summer, Paul George would suffer a gruesome leg injury during the Team USA scrimmage, an injury that would keep him out for all of 8 games in the 2014-15 season. Up to that point, Paul George looked like he was going to be one of the best players in the league. The Pacers looked like they were going to be serious contenders for years to come. But after that injury, the Pacers were never the same. However, Paul George would come back for the 2015-2016 season and would lead the Pacers to the playoffs, but would lose in the first round to the Toronto Raptors. The following season, Paul George would lead the Pacers to the playoffs again, but this time getting swept in the first round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. After the 2016-2017 season, Paul George would be traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. In his first season in OKC, he was good, but he was inconsistent. But this past season, he was amazing. For a good chunk of the season, he was seriously in the MVP conversation, although his name kind of fell off toward the end. This past season, Paul George averaged a career high in points per game at 28, rebounds per game at 8.2, assists per game at 4.1, and steals per game at 2.2. So far in his career, Paul George has been named to 6 All-Star teams, 4 All-NBA third teams, 2 All-Defensive second teams, and has won the Most Improved Player award. Victor Oladipo was not ranked in the top 100 coming out of high school, but was ranked as the 54th best shooting guard in the 2010 class according to ESPN. Victor Oladipo would commit to Indiana, where in his junior year he would be named First Team All-American, be named NABC Defensive Player of the Year, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and First Team All-Big Ten. Oladipo would declare for the 2013 NBA Draft, where he would be selected second overall by the Orlando Magic. After 2 solid seasons in Orlando, he would be traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder in a deal for Serge Ibaka. His numbers would stay around the same in Oklahoma City, averaging around 16 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game. However, after 1 year in Oklahoma City, he would be traded to the Pacers in the Paul George trade. With the Pacers, Victor Oladipo would increase his averages to 23.1 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists per game, while also leading the league in steals per game at 2.4. He would be named to an All-Star team for the first time in his career, make the All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and win Most Improved Player. And in the playoffs, the Pacers would push the Cavs to 7 games in the first round, but would fall just short. This past season, Victor Oladipo is having another amazing year, making his second All-Star team. But midway through the season, he ruptured his quad tendon in his right knee, ending his season. I hope nothing but the best for Victor Oladipo and wish for a speedy recovery.
There's a fight behind the play. Flags come flying in.
Saquon was the 291st best player in the 2015 class according to ESPN. He was ranked as the 24th best running back in the class. Saquon would commit to Penn State, where he surpassed almost every expectation, winning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year twice, being named First Team All-Big Ten twice, and was a consensus First Team All-American in 2017. Saquon Barkley would declare for the 2018 NFL Draft, where he was regarded as the best running back prospect since Adrian Peterson. Saquon would be picked second overall by the New York Giants, and he would rush for 1,307 yards and 11 rushing touchdowns, as well as 91 receptions and 720 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. He set an NFL record for most games of 100-plus scrimmage yards by a rookie at 12. He set an NFL record for most scrimmage yards for a rookie at 2,028, which also led the league. He tied Randy Moss for the most 50-yard touchdowns by a rookie, and set an NFL record for most receptions by a rookie running back with 91. Saquon would set franchise records for rushing yards as a rookie, rushing touchdowns as a rookie, and total touchdowns as a rookie. Saquon was named Offensive Rookie of the Year and was named to the Pro Bowl as a rookie. Saquon Barkley has been better than all 23 running backs that are ranked ahead of him coming out of high school, and it's hard to see any of them coming close to what Saquon has done so far in his NFL career. Angel was ranked as the 61st best player in the class of 2008, and was the 7th best quarterback in his class according to ESPN. Angel would commit to Stanford, where he would become one of the best college quarterbacks in recent memory. He was a 2-time First-Team All-American, 2-time Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time First-Team All-Pac-12, won the Maxwell and Walter Camp Award in 2011. Angel was considered to be one of the most pro-ready prospects after his redshirt sophomore year in 2011. However, he decided to stay for his redshirt junior year. He was the unanimous top prospect in the 2012 NFL Draft, considered to be the best quarterback prospect since John Elway. The Indianapolis Colts selected Andrew Luck first overall in the 2012 NFL Draft. As a rookie, Andrew Luck would set NFL records for most passing yards in a game by a rookie, most passing yards in a season by a rookie, most game-winning drives as a rookie, and most fourth-quarter comebacks as a rookie. Andrew Luck would make 4 Pro Bowls in his career. He led the league in touchdown passes in 2014, was named the Comeback Player of the Year in 2018 after coming back from shoulder surgery. Andrew Luck has been better than all 6 quarterbacks ranked ahead of him coming out of high school. In fact, it's laughable that those 6 quarterbacks were actually ranked ahead of him coming out of high school in hindsight. Out of all the players on this list so far, this one was the most shocking, as Darren Donald was not even ranked by ESPN coming out of high school, and was ranked as the 22nd best defensive tackle recruit according to ESPN. Darren Donald would commit to Pitt, where he would be named the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, win the Gronkowski Award, Lombardi Award, the Outland Trophy, and was a unanimous All-American after his senior season. Darren Donald would set a record for defensive tackles at the Combine, running a 4.68 40-yard dash. He would be selected 13th overall in the 2014 NFL Draft by the then St. Louis Rams. He would win Defensive Player of the Year and make the Pro Bowl as a rookie after a 9-sack, 18-tackle for last season. Darren Donald has made 5 Pro Bowls, been named first-team All-Pro 4 times, and has won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. This past season, he had 20.5 sacks, which is a record for defensive tackles in a season. Darren Donald is still in his prime, one of the greatest defensive players of his era, and is arguably one of the greatest defensive players of all time. It's safe to say that the 21 defensive tackles that were ranked ahead of him in high school are not better than him. Like Darren Donald, Patrick Mahomes was not ranked in his class and was ranked as the 22nd best quarterback in his class according to ESPN. Patrick Mahomes would commit to Texas Tech, where he would win the Sam Boyd Trophy and was named second-team All-Big 12 following his junior year. Coming out of Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes was projected to be a first or second-round pick by most scouts and analysts. At the Combine, Patrick Mahomes was clocked at 60 miles an hour on a throw, which is the fastest ever recorded at a Combine. Patrick Mahomes was ranked the second-best quarterback in the draft by Sports Illustrated and was ranked the third-best quarterback in the draft by ESPN, as well as the 4th-best quarterback by NFLDraftScouts.com. In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs traded up from the 27th pick with the Buffalo Bills to the 10th overall pick to select Patrick Mahomes. During his rookie season, Patrick Mahomes would sit behind veteran quarterback Alex Smith. Alex Smith would be traded to Washington the next season, and Mahomes would be named the starter for the Chiefs. And Mahomes would take advantage, throwing for 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns. Mahomes would be just the 7th player in NFL history to throw for at least 5,000 yards. He would be just the 3rd player in NFL history to throw for 50 touchdowns in a season, alongside Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. He would be just the 2nd player in NFL history to throw for at least 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns in a season, joining the above-mentioned Peyton Manning. Mahomes would lead his team to the AFC title game, where they would lose to the eventual Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. That season, Mahomes would be named to the Pro Bowl, named first-team All-Pro, and became the first Chiefs player in history to win MVP. He was the youngest MVP since Dan Marino, and at the age of 23, his name is already up there in record books with guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and Drew Brees as some of the greatest quarterback seasons ever. Based off the all-time great season Mahomes has had this year, I think it's safe to say that he has a chance to go down as one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, and is showing signs of being one of the most, if not the most talented quarterback this game has ever seen. When Gronkowski was coming out of high school, he was ranked as the 116th best player in the class of 2007. And according to ESPN, he was the 5th best tight end in his class. Gronk would commit to Arizona, where in 2008 he was a 3rd-team All-American and was named first-team All-Pac-10. The New England Patriots would select Gronkowski in the 2nd round, 42nd overall, in the 2010 NFL Draft, using a pick they acquired from Oakland. Listen, I have to bring up Pro Bowls and All-Pro teams and receiving touchdowns and receiving yards to tell you that Gronk is like arguably the greatest tight end of all time. So I'm just going to show you some highlights for you to see for yourself.
Nacho.
I think think it's safe to say those 4 tight ends that were ranked ahead of him coming out of high school, I don't think they were better.